Philippines and Singapore, which is funny because Singapore is where I was living before as well. Literally everywhere else in C. Anyone else from C could start these predictions for you, Mike. I literally can't. I don't know why. I'm going to lean towards 496 again. I think they've got some early spikes to play with here. They will be playing to their aggressive strengths once more. Mystery does have a little bit of an earlier timer compared to the Medusa. Like Ghost could opt for Maelstrom, SNY here, and you're going to be pretty set in the Life Stealer to start going. Key timings for Mystery for momentum is Mercury's Blink and the Blink here on Xiao Yu. You want to be able to jump in with the Tiny and the LC, play around with that. I just worry about their lanes. Lifestealer +1 never feels strong, and LC plus Mirana also doesn't feel strong enough, whereas when you look at 496 combos, they've got Clockwork, they've got Snapfire, they've got a lot of early presence out with the Bloodseeker combo, with the Centaur combo. Like, those dual lanes are scary, whereas for Mystery, it's a bit more reserved, so they're gonna have to try to ride through this initial phase, and really down mid, we need to see Mercury step up, really get a lead over this Wind Ranger from Hong. But the issue is, you know, even if it's not a Bombi Wind Ranger, Hong plays an amazing Wind Ranger as well. So you're going to have to play with that range disadvantage, have to deal with the power shot spam. You might want to see an early rotation coming out here from your Mirana.
Yeah, well, we've got a break, by the way, John. Been very upset recently. I think you've been getting a bit too much attention from the viewers. People like you a bit too much, and it's upsetting me quite a bit. And I was talking to you about this before the series started overall, but they're calling us John and MLP now. And it used to be MLP and John. What happened to that? Why am I at the second priority now?
I don't know. It makes sense alphabetically, right? J starts before PM in the alphabet, so
yeah,
maybe just...
I thought we were going based off talent, John.
I mean, it's usually the play-by-play first. I don't know, you know how chat is. Yeah, they can get a bit confused. I haven't bribed anyone.
Don't you, John?
I haven't gifted subs yet. Not yet. You know?
I won't eat here, but more.
Don't lie to me, John. I know you'll never gift subs. You're too much of a tight ass for that. Yassi gonna run up to the high ground. Wayne, Xiao Yu, they're all waiting, but Yassi's gonna run to the right.
Oh, beautiful.
This is a nice ward. Yeah, but it is gonna be scouted. You saw the pings out immediately. Get him, Ghost. He's gonna run up. I think they'll just be happy with the D ward. Yassi couldn't get in range to get the deny off. That'll be enough.
30 seconds.
And no first blood coming through. You do see that the other ward for 496 was actually lined up by the rune anyway. So they're still kind of protected in mid. A lot of rune ward emphasis on mid. Even Mystery planting 2 wards by the power and in spot in that mid lane. So a bit deeply invested. This should open up side lane rotations because you lack vision. At least in terms of being aggressive on their supports here.
Yassi gets a tip.
Begins.
Ghost and Yassi just kind of dancing around with each other for a moment as the bounty runes are going to spawn up, and it looks like it should be a... wait a minute. A 4 for 0? What?
Oh, yeah, that's a bit sneaky. Drew went into the back. I kind of expected it coming through from that BB. He let off the proof stomp at the perfect time. And this is where some of those issues with Mystery's draft starts to line up again. Like, they don't have much hard stuns early on. You're not going to opt for Inkswell early on. I mean, you could on Wayne, but it's a delayed stun. Avalanche is not something you want to start the lane with for a Tiny, so just easier for them to secure that start for 496. They're going to feel good. See the lanes break out. Drew up top on the Bloodseeker, solo for now. He does have the movement coming out from Bombi. So you can kind of play around with Cookie into Bloodright. That could be a bit scary for Xiao Yu. You have to watch that spacing. Xiao Yu, for his part, has the overwhelming odds, has QWE around with the arrow to clear out the range creep. It's a bit more passive here for Mystery. If you can land a good arrow and keep bullying with overwhelming, it can work. But every missed arrow just means that Bombi's gonna stand in front, trade. He is going for the Scatter Blast build, not
Wow.
opting for the little Shredder. But again, with a Bloodseeker, this is preferable. You just want to line up the nukes once you get Snap Cookie into the Bloodright. You just want to burst them down ASAP anyway.
Yeah, I suppose so, right? Like, you have so much magic damage, and the Scatter Blast does do quite a bit of damage as the levels do go up, but we'll see how it does pan out. Of course, in the mid lane, you've got Mercury there up against Hung, and it should be a rather even kind of trading lane. Of course, Hung can harass out Mercury quite a bit, but ultimately, I think Mercury should be just fine to keep his own CS up, and it's probably going to be one of those lanes where it is about those runes spawning up and who does get what. You can see both sides have queued up a bottle. Hung already has his and just about to have enough gold for his own. It's like Hung is going to be able to at least get one water rune for himself though early on, and Mercury might just have to wait a little bit for his own bottle. But top lane, Drew does manage to get the first blood. QWE, he tried to leap away into the corner of the map. Does not work out for him.
And it's that pretty big spike for that top lane. Like level 2 up, Bloodright and Cookie in play. There's just a lot of magic damage here, and Xiao Yu can't really help you. Doesn't even opt for to press the attack to burst or to clear out that silence. So really have to watch how you trade in that top lane there.
Xiao Yu is copying so much damage here. Drew chase him down a little bit, and already this off lane for Mystery looking very, very rough. Of course, the one lane we haven't talked about yet, the bot lane, will see DatBB and Yassi up against Wayne and Ghost. For now, Ghost having a decent enough time. I suppose up against the Centaur, you can't really harass him out too much because he will have the Retaliate. I had to look back up top lane because everyone is dropping so darn low. Ghost actually dies. In fact, he might just, and does. QWE, a nice leap in, and he gets the right clicks off. Drew had no Fairy Fires available and couldn't really heal up. Be a very impactful kill though for Mystery.
Yeah, it's
Radiant's
an
middle
important
tower
one for them
is
to
under
find.
attack.
They need to get some grip back in that top lane, so they managed to balance out the kill board, slow down Drew just a tad bit more, which is great news because the bot lane, Ghost is having a pretty good time already.
That BB,
Radiant's
he's
turret
gone. Look at the
has been
slow,
killed.
John. He's got the Orb of Venom up, plus the slow from himself, and well, Yassi's going to come in for a very nice cogs. He'll get Wayne at least, and he could even go for a chase onto Ghost. I don't think he'll quite have enough to kill him off, though. Meanwhile, top lane, Xiao Yu does get Bombi again.
They're just got to be cautious about the arrow angles coming through from QWE, and once you run out of mana on the snap, it can feel a bit awkward, so gonna need a reset anyway. Good kills from Mysterito, again, stabilizing their lanes a little bit more. And they are starting to open up the map a bit. Like that BB's having a slower start. Lifestealer versus Centaur is kind of back and forth, but you've got this Inkswell combo with Wayne. You can just play with that aggression, run up with the slows, and take control from there. It is something that BB's going to have to respect. The mid lane is still really even between Hung and Mercury. That's just going to be an even power spike coming through, although up top, Bomb just playing tag with QWE.
He's still going to be careful, though. The arrow won't connect this time around, and Xiao Yu, he was a bit low on HP. You do have to be a little bit
Radiant's
cautious about the
middle tower is
initiation
under
onto that
attack.
Mirana. Every lane, at least for now, has seemingly stabilized for a bit. Everyone just chilling out, getting some CS. Neither mid laner really wants to move right now. They just want to keep farming up as Bombi tries to go for a bit of a cookie there onto the Mirana again, but we'll see QWE just kind of leap away and go and stack up some neutral camps for his team.
An easy
But yeah,
shot.
we are in that bit of a quiet period where everyone just wants to CS, and it may be a minute or two before we see some more kills come out between these two teams. Never mind, I jinxed it. Xiao Yu, he's gone.
I claim your blood.
I'm gonna pretend I did that on purpose, John, because it happens every time.
Yeah, the perfect timing there, Mike. Impeccable, and Drew gonna be able to compensate for it. There's a couple of deaths given out. Still fairly happy about the game state. I'm starting to wonder a bit as to why they're running the Clockwork 4 here. I feel like
Mercury.
Clock 5 would
Oh, Hung, no. He had the focus fire out. He was trying to dive Mercury underneath the T1 tower, and he did have the wind run, but Mercury just threw the tree at him. QWE was there with the Starfall, and well, unfortunately for Hung, that was enough. Meanwhile, top lane, Xiao Yu, he chased down with the Scatter Blast to silence him up, but he got to press the attack off back into Bombi. Drew, does he really want to chase him past the T1 tower? Apparently the answer might be yes. Drew is running very, very quick right now, but Zhao Yu is going to run around in circles and it might just be enough. In fact, never mind. Drew will eventually be able to pick up the kill. No sweat here from Drew as Yassi even dropping a Mercury apparently. Nice little rotation out from our Tiny.
Yep, he's starting to build up here. He's hitting his level spikes, level 7 up. So you've got max avalanche, 2 levels in the toss, a lot of damage in that combination coming through. Have to watch yourself. Again, the reason these lanes are a bit awkward for 496 is because they're running Bloodseeker Snap over Bloodseeker Clock. I think Bloodseeker Clock might be a bit easier to pull off. You come in, cogs into Blood Ride. Sure, it's not going to lock into Mirana as stably, but it locks in the LC just fine. Rupture's out though.
That it is. QWE can't run away from that. We'll say thank you very much and takes another kill on the Bloodseeker. That's going to be the big difference as well between the Bloodseeker and say the Lifestealer on Team Mystery, is you could just fight so much earlier on with this hero. And well, for the Lifestealer, we've seen it a couple times, but it definitely needs a couple of core items before it can do anything. That could be detrimental for Team Mystery if the farm goes too well for Drew.
Yeah, it's still gonna have to come through here for Ghost. Like they are buying time. This is pretty much a free lane for the Lifestealer. So Drew, he may be finding these kills, but he's not quite finding last hits. But he is still in the lead, which is great news. Has his jab up.
Power shot did not land on Wayne there. Hung just barely missing out. Yassi gonna have to run as Zhao Yu now runs in, but doesn't have that level 6 yet. Nice shackles, but another missed power shot. Wayne, he will finally go down to the focus fire. It'll cost them Yassi, however. As now Drew will try and chase down Zhao Yu. It's gonna be about it. Or is it? 496 looking for a bit of a turn. Zhao Yu. It looks like he's gonna be alright. At least for now. But here comes the surround. Hung, he's not done yet. There's your rupture out. Arrow will not connect on Drew either. Zhao Yu is going to try and fight, but it looks like he is eventually going to die as now QWE is trying to run away, but Bombi is on the chase. QWE does have 3 leap charges, so it'd be just fine. Still, you lost that LC, and that's not going to feel very good at all if you're Team Mystery.
It's another kill coming out for Drew. He's going to be feeling very glad. Again, he's got this major spike in the Bloodseeker. With that Javelin up, he hits very, very hard if he gets focused down. And Hung also picks up his jab. Still, they are making a move up top for Mystery. Mercury's around now. He does have an Arcane up as well.
Thanks.
You're still not level 6 though, so you can't really go for the duel. You'd love to hit that 6 timing beforehand, but they're going to go in with the Inkswell out on Wayne, straight on to Drew, but a nice cookie away might be enough, but no. The stun still lands. Bombi is going to try and turn now with that BB, but another toss back. So that BB this time around as Hung now will rotate in with the focus fire, but the avalanche is out into the shackles with the press the attack. Gonna save the team for now as Mercury will keep running away. They even found Bombi. Now you duel out. Do they have enough damage? Not quite, but eventually Hung will drop, and that BB, he is not going to be safe either. They'll find another. 4 going down for 496 this top lane. Just some really nice kiting out from Team Mystery, and it's not going to feel very good at all for 496.
Drew.
Lie down.
Down Zhao Yu, Wayne. To try and run. Bombi has the cookie but can't reach. Still 4 heroes going down, and eventually you do kill off Zhao Yu, but still a pretty big bonus for the side of Team Mystery.
They're going to be very happy about that. A lot of kills coming out onto Mercury. We talked about the Tiny having to pick up the pace, and he certainly is. Like, it's shaping up nicely. The blink is up now at the 10-minute mark. So he's going to be able to gap close. Keep being disruptive. Every single time he tosses back that BB, you miss out on your stun on 496. Although they can kind of compensate for that now. They've got the hook ready on Yassi, and they can look for a play.
Ghost has been caught out. Nice hook shot in from Yassi with the Conks pushback, and they will not allow the Infest away.
Is that it?
Very well played there from 496, and that's the big one you want to find. Kill the Lifestealer now, you may as well get it done, while Mercury, over in the mid-river, does manage to catch out Bombi in the Snapfire. Poor old Bombi. Well, he has the tomb in his inventory, but he's still level 5. When he does respawn, he will be able to just pump the tomb and hit level 6, and Well, with that, you will have the kisses up, so you can start kind of abusing that for your side. You might need to, because Mystery, they are going to start the T1 push at the top lane.
They've got Mercury around. He can do a good amount of damage here. They've got the dual threat ready to go on that LC as well. They can innovate that jungle a bit. They've got some good forward wards, and the smoke is out here from 496, but that might have been under vision.
Wayne, Night Shadow might just save the day for him. Yassi still trying to keep a lookout for somebody to hookshot.
Middle tower is under attack.
Now going to start moving up. 2 sentry wards on the high ground apparently there. Fair enough. Inkswell is in. Mercury. Nice avalanche toss will burst down Yassi. Stampede even popped from 496, and now they'll try and turn onto Ghost. Shackle won't land. Still, they get the soul bind into the double silence, and they are right on top of Drew with a nice toss out. And now the double jewel is there. Kill 1 hung. He will be the second. 496 really just dropping like flies right now as Mystery will go for another right onto Bombi, but Bombi, you're right, it's that BB now will turn back around on the Centaur, and they might try to turn. How far can you really push this? Xiao Yu, he will turn back around. Here comes Yassi though, but Mercury, nice avalanche toss into the arrow. That'll be a Centaur gone. They might kill Xiao Yu, or maybe not, he's still alive. But the cookie and the right click will be enough from Yassi. Still, it seems like 496 are losing a lot more than they're gaining in these engagements. Team Mystery should be quite satisfied with all the kills they are finding.
Yeah, and the key thing for 496 right now is they've got to respect the burst damage coming out from that tiny Mercury. Every single time he catches someone out, it's going to be an easy kill. You're seeing the soul bind combinations cause a lot of issues. The tosses around are keeping them in a really confused state. The double duel just holds 2 big cores down. Can't afford that right now on the side of 496.
Tried to go onto Ghost there, but without the hook shot. Very hard to set up before the rage comes out, and now Ghost with the Inkswell is going to turn right back around onto that Clockwork, and Mercury. He'll come in and secure the kill. That's easy kill for the Tiny, and while you do still have Drew farming the best on the map, still Mystery just able to find every single kill they could ask for. In fact, they might even find another now. Bombi. Mid lane, Inkswell not gonna land, but Mercury, he'll have the avalanche soon, and never mind that. You've got the toss out from Xiao Yu. Bit more dual damage out for the LC, and 496. They've got to get it together in this game too, John. They are falling behind.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're really starting to lag behind here. They are starting to build some items up. The Maelstrom's finally up on Hung Hung, so you can do a little bit more damage with the focus.
Odds push back, Clue Stomp, and Rough Shot. All to make sure they do get QWE, but you kind of see how much they have to commit. And that's going to be very problematic. Like, you're committing Hookshot, Stampede, and Rough Shot to kill off the support Mirana. It's never going to feel good.
Under attack.
No, it's a lot to throw out. There's some pretty long cooldowns, something that Mystery can use. They don't really have cooldowns. Mercury just needs the avalanche toss ready. They can keep bursting heroes down.
Oh, Yassi gonna get caught out again by Mercury, but it looks like it won't quite be enough damages. Now they'll try to turn. That BB is in, but the Soulbind is gonna lock him down along with Bombi. The Moonlight Shadow just gonna allow him to run. Where's the dust?
This will come back.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising for 496 and duel.
Yeah, he's got the Blade Mail up. Starfall, not going to be quite enough. Yassi, he is going to survive for at least now, but eventually Mercury will be able to blink in. They'll secure the kill, and well, Mystery, of course, going to move right into that mid-tier 1 tower now. It's going to be very hard for 496 to even try to defend this.
Yeah, they've got no choice. It looks like they're just going to surrender it for now. They really want to play with their Snap Kisses combo with the Clockwork, but every single time you're forced to put that clock up front, and Mystery just they just keep finding more openings. Like, they know heroes are down, they're on the back foot, they're going to try to go for the high ground. They've got the Blink Infest combo, and no one's going to let through that burst damage.
Yeah, Bombi's gone. Avalanche toss out. Another nice kill there from Mercury, and now they'll chase for more. Xiao Yu doesn't have a blink yet. Hookshot is going to be back the way of the Tiny. Hung is going to try and deal with Mercury before the team fight starts, and it looks like they will be able to secure him as they even found Wayne now. 496, they'll go for a bit more. They don't have that rupture though. Hung, they get the cookie. Shackle attempt, not going to really land. Definitely a nice try. It might just be it. 496, they can't really hold anyone else down. Yassi's trying to catch up to Xiao Yu. Cogs might actually reach now. Xiao Yu, he's going to be alright, but no, they found Ghost. And now the Cogs out with the duel out. Xiao Yu.
Structures are fortified.
Bit of a panic duel there, John. I mean, we've all done it. I can confidently say that every LC player's done that once upon a time, but
Radiant's middle tower.
it seemed like a kind of an obvious non-duel target.
Yeah, it's not too bad losing the duel, I guess. Yassi gets 10 damage, whoop-de-doo, 10 damage in a clock. Not really amazing, but you do have to be cautious about that, as suddenly 496 has a 3k lead. So even though they were dropping a couple of those team fights earlier on, they're starting to find their precision here. They've got the blink on that BB, and we know every single time these teams that have these blink timings to play with, once they have one of those blinks, it feels a lot easier to play. So we can see 496 maybe line up for the kisses used from Bombi. Still haven't seen the biggest kisses yet, but side of Mystery are smoked up, trying to go into triangle again.
Well, they'll find Bombi. Now, the thing is, they've killed Bombi that many times now. I just don't know how worth it is. They'll have to accept they killed. Bombi realizes what's going on, but the Avalanche tossback is going to be there. But a nice stampede now as Drew is going to meet halfway. There's Immortimus Kisses, but a very nice arrow out from QWE is going to lock Drew down. They still want the rupture out, but again, you have that dust problem, John. Where's the dust? Bombi has one, but he can't reach them. Mercury going to move back in now with the Avalanche toss and the Ink Swell, and it will be enough. Drew is going to drop. 496 going to be forced to back. There's a smoke out now.
They smoke?
Yassi, he's got a dust and hook shot. Moonlight Shadow already gone though. Who do you aim for? Mercury. Looks like he's going to be targeted. Can you burst him down? That BB jumps in for the stun, and now the power shot into the focus fire. But you might lose your Centaur first, and now the Avalanche toss on Hung. It won't be enough to kill off the Wind Ranger, but they'll chase her down with the arrow out. Hung, find a way out. Not quite.
Dismissed.
Still just, it's not worth it whatsoever for 496. Team Mystery continue to win out these team fights. But you know what is strange, John? It's 496. They still maintain the net worth lead, even throughout all these deaths.
Yeah, and they had the 3k lead before these two fights broke out, so it's just kind of equalizing back off those losses. I think the one thing that Team Mystery is probably not doing as good as they were last time is Ghost isn't flash farming as much, and the rest of his cores aren't farming either, so you're not seeing Ghost actually take over the lead in any way. He's lagging behind Drew, he's lagging behind Hung. It's the nature of Lifestealer, it's just not a great flash farmer. That's something they're going to have to consider. These fights need to work out a lot more cleanly for Mystery, and they need to transition that into objectives. Like, they've been winning the last few fights. They haven't taken that top tier 2, they haven't taken the mid tier 2, they haven't taken Roche. We need to see some progress in some of those map objectives there after these fights to really line it up and start to work out towards the end of the game. You know, you start eyeing the high ground, you start eyeing the Ancient, which is what the game's all about. You need to find something else beyond just teamfight wins. It needs to give you something on the map as well.
Absolutely. Drew is still going to be a big problem on this bot Seeker with the way he's farming up. Ghost is trying his best. It's just so much more of a slow process here for the Lifestealer. No farming tool either. Like, he didn't go for any kind of farming item. Pretty standard, I suppose, in the Lifestealer, but
top tower is under attack.
Does feel kind of slow.
Shadows take
Mercury, I guess he's been the damage output anyway for Mystery, so they haven't really needed that Lifestealer to be ready to fight.
Top tower is under attack.
Speaking of Mercury, by the way, with the Moonlight Shadow, he's going to have a look around on this Tiny. Going to be around that mid lane, but you've got 496 slowly making their way over. Mercury, as soon as he sees that rocket flare, is going to back off. But 496 now, they've got a BKB on Hung, and that might be about the time to start smoking up and going again. That'll be about it. Bombi's got one. In fact, he's got two. So trying to abuse the BKB. And Hung's main issue has been the Avalanche toss flying out from Mercury. BKB should kind of solve that issue. Oh, Yassi's going to try and bait for the team. Xiao Yu going to jump in for the duel attempt at BB. He's going to be there with the hoop stomp. They will still kill off Yassi. Now the kisses flying and Hung is going to rush in with the focus fire onto Ghost. Just continues chasing him down. Ghost, he is trying to run away, but the damage output will just slowly trickle away at him and he will die.
Guess I'm done.
Into more, they even found the LC. Wayne, he's going to try and survive, but of course Drew is going to chase him down along with Yassi, and that should be your Grimstroke gone. On top of that, they even found the Mirana.
2 for 1.
The only person to survive was Mercury, and he'll have the pleasure of seeing 496 start the Roshan.
Yeah, he could try to make a sneaky play here. The BKB's down for a bit longer, so he could go for a well-timed Blink Avalanche and steal the Aegis. Issue is that's a very tight timer he's going to have to play with.
It's very, very tough, and Yassi is right, and he's not going to allow it. He will force the toss out, and the Avalanche and Mercury now is going to be focus fired down. Hung, just with the Maelstrom and the Shackle shot, is going to be more than enough. Even Drew just takes the kill on the Bloodseeker. They will move back into that Roshan now, and Team Mystery, they are still posturing, but Xiao Yu again going to be blocked up by Yassi. This time they will finish off the Roshan Shackle, not going to latch, they'll get the clockwork. But Yassi's going to be very happy with that. That was his job as the clockwork, is to block the angle, block the pathway to the Roshan pit, and he does a great job of it.
You're pretty much worthwhile trade. You already found a Tiny beforehand, so you kind of already got value from your clockwork standing up in front. Team Mystery now have to be a bit cautious. 496 maintained the 3k lead up. The BKB from Hung means that all the damage coming through from the Tiny, which is really your main source right now, just disappears, as you mentioned, right? Like, our Life Stealer's not quite ready to burst heroes down. Working on the MKB next to maybe focus on that Wind Ranger can help the cause, but the damage output on non-strength heroes for the Life Stealer just doesn't feel great till that does feel great. Now, one thing I kind of had a thought about, right? Like, it's Tiny. Remember the old Ag Shard, which was just craggy, right? It was just basically craggy. I think in this game against a Wind Ranger, you'd actually prefer that right now. Just because once Hung focus fires you with craggy up, Hung's gonna kill himself. 100%. I have experienced that. It's such a busted. It was so boring as a spell, but also so annoying towards late game because you couldn't do anything about it. You focus amazing. Tiny, he's so tanky, and then you just get craggy and like, oh well, here I go. I guess I'm dead. Sorry guys.
It was that and backtrack I used to enjoy.
Oh, you filthy
you finger
man.
somebody in the backtrack.
You disgust me. Jeez, Mike. Oh, disgusting.
You're a Lion player, John, so I'm sure you would be quite disgusted. I'm sure you've had the experience. Wayne, the chase down now. Shackle is going to latch very nicely from Hung. God, I hate this hero so much, Hung. He'll get another kill. Into the die jungle they go. Xiao Yu now being caught out with the stun from that BB, and he's going to try and BKB and run. In fact, no, it was the shard. It won't matter though. Xiao Yu, he's been ruptured up and eventually will die. Meanwhile, Yassi will go for the chase onto QWE. The battery assault will not reach.
Rack it on.
His QWE does manage to get himself out, but you could really feel the momentum swing now for 496, and of course for Team Mystery, I don't really know what they have to do, but it does feel like they are just going to kind of have to wait out the power spike of 496 and maybe just get a bit more farm up on Ghost. Even then, though, up against the Wind Ranger and a Bloodseeker, it could still be a very hard ask for Ghost to be able to carry this game on a Life Stealer.
Big issue for the Life Stealer down the line is kiting. Like, he's a melee hero up against Wind Ranger. That's already not great because it's melee against range, and Wind Ranger is very mobile as well for a ranged hero. With that Wind Run, very hard to catch out. So even with an MKB, you still have to gap close and somehow lock her in. That's going to be down to your teammates there. You also need to see Mercury get a BKB up and then pivot into that Ag's Shard right-click build. Like, the Tiny has to be ready to take this one a bit longer. And we're not seeing that farm priority come through for Mercury. It's still mainly going on to Ghost. You can see Drew still being on top of everyone else by virtue of just having Maelstrom. Like, Bloodseeker can kind of farm nicely with Bloodright. It's really just because Drew went for Maelstrom first, and he's kind of made really good use of it in every single spot he's been farming at. They're clearing out that top tier 2 next. Mystery just kind of shoving the bot lane. Not going to be something that bothers 496. And now there's a basher on Drew, so the memes about Bloodseeker just having people TP out, it's not going to happen.
Oh, look at this. They've got Mercury. That BB in with the follow-up stun on Mercury. He just cannot survive the damage output from Hung. Mid lane, there's going to be a duel out there. Caught Drew, but he has no help. Rupture out now. He's going to try and TP out of there. And Drew, he had the basher in the backpack. Oh, both teams making a bit of a mistake there, or rather both players. Nevertheless, sure Drew will be just happy to survive. But what a hook shot out. Yassi catching out QWE behind the tier 2 tower, and he's going to try and run. BKB out from Xiao Yu with the press the attack, going to save the day.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Hung though, he's not done. Shackle, going to be avoided. Wayne on the high ground, going to try and run from this focus fire, and is going to be able to. At least for now. That'll be it. 496, they've seen enough, they'll back.
Players here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Pretty successful defense for Mystery on that mid tier 2. Don't think they're going to mind too much. The side of 496, they don't have too much time left to play with the Aegis. It's going to expire, so they have to be a bit cautious about how far forward Drew is in this next fight. Should expire right before the fight, though, so you're still going to be fine. There it is. Drew gets a reset, so they're going to be aware of it. They could wait for the next Roche. They're going to be taking this bot tier 2 quite smoothly with that BB as long as the comps tower.
Nice hook shot. Yassi into the shackle. I'd love to see this coordination out from 496. This is something we used to see a lot from them last year in the BTS Pro Series, and before the DPC started, 496 were really kind of getting on the board as a team, and I do have to admit it's kind of sad to see them in the lower division right now, but I'm sure slowly but surely they'll make their way back over and make it to the upper division eventually. Still, of course, they have to get through Team Mystery first, who are still well and truly in this game. You look at Ghost, he's just trying to catch up in farm, trying to get that MKB up. It's still just going to be a bit more time. In fact, never mind, he's got it.
Yeah. It's a good spike. They need to play with their Infest combo once more here. I think that's what's been lacking from the side of Mystery. Like, we haven't seen too much Blink Dual Inkswell, Blink Dual Inkswell Infest. It just needs to come out. Like, if you can just lock one here in, build the damage out, get the 4v5 after, you're going to feel pretty darn good inside of Mystery, as long as you find that opening. 496 has been disciplined enough to mainly stay as 4 or 5, so there's not many solo heroes they can punish. And that just makes it much more difficult to find those angles, but they'll try. They do infest up and smoke up as well.
Absolutely.
Are scanning.
Bree gonna move in. Xiao Yu with the infest. Needs a very nice dual target for himself, and well, they're gonna make their way over across the river. Unless they run into Bombi, but again, that's not really the kill you want. Bombi is going to show himself on the map as well very soon, and it looks like Mystery is just going to take the easy kill. Bombi, TP attempt. Oh, Mercury, the fog. He can't see him. Now mid lane, Yassi gets the hook shot off into the shackle shot of Hung. And the leap works against QW in the end, as I don't believe Hung would have landed the shackle had he not leaped away. So a bit unfortunate there for QWE. Now DPC finding a very important stun off. How does he even get that? Focus fire around onto the LC. Ghost here is trying to fight up against the Wind Ranger and will get hung. It's a massive start for Mystery, but Ghost is completely surrounded now. They are trying to help, but they just can't do it. Mercury, he needs to run. Drew, meanwhile, going to chase down Wayne. We'll find another. And now, Bombi, he has got the Tiny in his hands. It's going to be a full team wipe.
Blood.
Mystery just could not fight back.
Radiant's middle tower is
And at
under
least,
attack.
I suppose they got hung on the Wind Ranger with that MKB up, but that's about all they got.
Boom, there it goes.
Yeah, it's not enough. Like, you lose a lot of big heroes. You only save your Marana. The mid-tier 2 does fall to the high ground's opened. You have some major spikes
Radiant's
flying out from
middle tower is
496.
under attack.
Ag Scepter up on that BB. So you've got the damage reduction on the Stampede now, and you've got the free padding as well. It's going to be even harder to take this next fight once the respawns are up. You do have the fortify. They can scare off 496 for now. Roshan still about a minute off. They're not going to be able to just cleanly go into the Roche. There's some good wards here from Mystery as well to watch this movement out. They are kind of safe to wait for the respawns, look for a different approach once more. But you're seeing the problems with Lifestealer. Like, you saw our Lifestealer just try to man up against our Bloodseeker 1-on-1 for a while. It was just a pure 1v1, and the damage output's not great. Like, the issue with Lifestealer is that Feast is physical damage. Drew has Tricky Tree armor, so you're not going to be ripping through that EHP anytime soon, despite Drew being a strength hero, or having a lot of strength in this hero as well. Feast just... It scaled so weird. You have to drop armor, so you need, say, a Desolator and an Assault Cuirass, but we're not seeing Ghost itemized that way because he can't. He has to go for the MKP, he has to get the Basher for control. It's a long way until his damage output starts to build up, and that's just something 496 is really abusing quite nicely.
That they are. 496, they're going to group up. Lincoln Sphere now coming out on Hung, and that might be Q to smoke again. And they will immediately. It's going to make it a lot harder to catch Hung now because you can't really duel him straight off the bat. You need to break the Lincoln somehow. WE, he is going to break the smoke, but they are in with a shackle shot right onto Ghost. Wants to press the attack, but no! A big hoop slop in from our Centaur. And they are going to melt Wayne and Xiao Yu into another. There goes Ghost.
I won't celebrate the end of such a pitiless.
That BB, he's been landing some very nice stuns in this game. And 496, they're onto the high ground. There's no buybacks. This game's looking very over. It might just be time to call it, honestly. It's very hard to see them coming back.
It's a difficult one to hold out on. They're going to lose at least 2 sets of racks, probably just all of them. And 496, there's just nothing to stop them. Their cooldowns are so short, Stampede's up. By the time your Lifestealer's back up, Focus Fire's already back up. Yassi's just flying around with Jetpack, cutting them off, and there's just no angle. Like, they need a Lifestealer Infest to take this defense, so they just have to wait the full half minute here.
Wish Ice Frog would buff that Jetpack shot. Doesn't feel great. Feels alright. Never see anyone buying it. Bit sad.
Yeah. I think we see it every now and again on the Clockworks every time they're up. It's like, it's nice, it's mobility, you can realign yourself up for the hook, so it has some utility. I think the move speed needs a buff. Still, Roche being taken out. This is Roche number 2, Aegis Cheese plus Ag Shard. So the freebie Shard coming out. Wonder who takes it. You already have one on Drew. Maybe Hung. I do love the power shot. Power shot with the Cleavel, though.
I love what Yassi's doing. He's just flying around, getting vision over the triangle by himself, and it's what you love to see from Clockworks. You don't need to be in the Roshan pit in case you are listening as a Clockwork player. Be out in the triangle, watch the angles, make sure nobody gets in the pit from the enemy side, and team will be much happier with you, I'm sure. Nice hook shot in as well. Yassi right into the Grimstroke. Does go for the Cox pushback though. Still, there is a spin out. That BB gonna be right in. Mercury gonna try and run, but they got the rupture out from Drew. He cannot run away from this. He will try to fight. It's gonna be no good as Yassi. He will just keep flying in. And Hung apparently just kills Xiao Yu. Now he's going to try and run from Ghost. Nice blink away. Ghost going to be careful. There's a focus fire out. Hung. He's going to kite him around Ghost. He's going to try and run, but the shackle is out. It looks like they might even lose their pos 1. Ghost wasn't even there. That's it. They called. They've had enough. 496, they were just too good of a team today, and well, unfortunately for Team Mystery, they will have to leave today 0-2 on the scoreboard.